lateral lines. We're just going to need the mat. And again, with any seated work, I find it much easier to sit up on something. So if you want a little prop to sit up on, then you can just have a block or a cushion ready for yourself. So we're going to start in a seated position. And you're going to be sitting with the soles of your feet together. So you don't have to worry about which leg you're bringing in front. You're going to place the heels of the feet together, separate your toes out like this, so you can really kind of root into the baby toes, and then pull the flesh of the bum out the back a little bit so you're sitting up nice and high. Hands up on top of the knees so that you can use your arms now to sit up nice and tall. And start with just a very gentle side-to-side movement of your ribs. So you're just allowing your rib cage to shift slightly. And then it feels good for me to add a little bit of a tilt of my head to the side, so I get a little bit of a stretch down the side of the neck. Bring yourself all the way back up to the center. Make sure you're anchoring your baby toes. And then start to guide yourself into a little bit of a rotation. A little twist from side to side. So again, I'm using my hands to help me a little bit. I'm pushing with one hand and pulling with the other hand. Let your ribs spiral. You can look over your shoulders slightly. And then come back to the center, palms of your hands down. Lengthen along the back of your neck. And then soften your gaze, look down, perhaps close your eyes completely. And pausing for just a few moments. Finding the length of your spine, lifting through the crown of your head and just gently anchoring into your two sit bones. Softening that little space between your eyebrows and allowing your eyes to soften backwards into your head. Finding that long diamond shape with your legs, allowing your knees to softly open. Relaxing as much as you can around your hip joints. Noticing those outside blades of your feet connecting in towards the ground. And taking just a few moments for full deep breaths in and out. And with each exhale, just seeing if you can sink a little bit deeper. Soften a little bit more. Noticing the shape that your body is making as we start class. Taking one more deep inhale through your nose. Long exhale through your mouth. Keep your eyes closed for a moment. Just let your hands float up off your knees. Turn the palms of your hands to face each other, and then move your hands towards each other. Move the palms of your hands towards each other, and start to feel that little bit of energy between the palms of your hands. And you might almost think that your hands are about to physically connect, but you can still feel that energy before they physically touch. Press the palms of your hands into each other and then start to rub your hands lightly and quickly, feeling a little bit of warmth, a little bit of heat. Take your hands, cup them over your eyes, and then start to blink your eyes open slowly, just letting the sunlight, the daylight peep in. Blink your eyes all the way open. And then reaching both hands all the way up. So you find that stretch along the side of your body, placing your right hand to the floor, and we start to lean over towards the right. Come all the way back up, both hands reach. And now left hand comes down. So I'm doing a little bit of a mirror image for you. It doesn't matter if you're going the opposite way. Reach up, both hands reach up. Taking right hand down, and this time we're going to settle over towards the side and hold it there. So make sure that you're not holding any tension, or if there's any kind of pain down the side of your body, make sure that it feels comfortable. Start to turn your head. So you're going to breathe in to look to the floor, and exhale then to look to the front. And again, inhale, turn your eye line. And exhale back to the front. 2 more times, breathing in. Breathing out, so you're holding that lateral release on the left side of your body. Adding a little bit of a rotation through your neck. Come back to the center. Come all the way up. Both hands reach up. Take a moment to notice the difference between the 2 sides. Now placing left hand down. Lean over towards the side. Figure out how far you can go. Soften into it. And again, we're going to turn our head to look down. And up. And again, just a gentle pivoting action. Through the neck, through the head, through the cervical spine. 2 more. 1 more time. Inhale, exhale, look to the front, come all the way up, both arms reach, and again, just feel the sides of your body. Now let one hand come forward, lightly touching just between your legs, the other hand behind you. Both hands come up, back to the center, and a little bit of a pivot to the other side. Inhale, reach up. So it's quite an unstructured movement. Just allowing yourself to feel the lift of your arms, the lift of the ribs, and allowing them floating downwards of the arms and the closing of the ribs to bring you into that little bit of a spiral. We're going to take 2 more. 1 looking over the right shoulder. Last one looking over the left shoulder. Come all the way back up to the center. And this time, curve your spine. Place your hands into the well of your legs. Start to walk your right hand out towards the right foot, the left hand out towards the left foot. Firmly plant your hands. And then just let your spine curve forward. You can soften your feet as well. Rooting into your hands, start to round your spine back and up. So you're creating your own resistance. You might even be able to hook your elbows sort of underneath your knees. And just feel that wonderful stretch and release between the shoulder blades. A little bit of a stretch and release across your lower back, around your kidneys. Relax your neck. Scoop your belly. Taking 1 more breath in. And then exhale, release. Soften your spine. Slide your hands all the way out. And then just taking your hands underneath your knees as you stretch 1 leg out to the side, other leg out to the side. And again, I'm staying seated on the block because it just helps my lower back so much, but you don't have to sit on the block if you don't want to. So take your hands around the insides of your knees. So we've got these ligaments around the insides of the knees that for a lot of people, they take a little bit of strain if the hips are tight. Lift your toes up. So that's called flexing or dorsiflexing. And then work through your ankles, your feet, curl your toes, and you point or you plantar flex. Curl your toes up, stretch out through the heels, and then curl the ankles over and pointing the feet. So we're just going to do a few more. And you're offering yourself a little bit of stability and support by holding onto the insides of the knees. And then as you lift your toes up, you can probably feel that there's a bit of a stretch along the calf muscle and maybe along the hamstring. And then as you point your toes away, you can probably feel that the calf muscles are having to work a little bit. Some people cramp here. Let's just take 2 more. Flex and point. So we're alternating the front line and the back line of the body, but we're also releasing that deep midline, the inner thigh. Flex and point. And now we're going to do a soft flexing of the ankle. And I want you to decide if you're happy to keep your knees straight or if you need to bend them a little bit. It is completely up to you. Taking both arms, we're going to inhale, reach up. Palms facing up, fingertips connect. And exhale, open your arms nice and wide and float them down. And again, inhale. Clear a little bit of space for yourself as you move your arms through the air. And exhale, soften, closing ribs, sinking a little deeper. 2 more, breathing in. And exhale, open arms wide. Last one, breathing in, reaching all the way up. And this time, exhale to interlock the fingers and place your hands behind your head. Your elbows are going to be a little bit forward so that you're not tensing up through the neck and shoulders. Start leaning over towards the right, breathing in. Keep that left bum down. And exhale, draw back up to the center using the obliques. Inhale, over to the side. Anchor your legs, anchor your pelvis. Exhale, back up. Good. So just keep alternating at your own pace. You don't have to go at the same rhythm as me, and you don't have to do the same range as me. Some people might have much more range and other people less. Doesn't matter. Feel it out on your own body. Do you have one side that has more mobility? Maybe you have a greater sense of awareness of the obliques. Use your breath to move. We're just going to do 2 more. So the obliques and the serratus and all those muscles around the ribs called the intercostals are all part of those lateral lines. Come all the way back up to the center, releasing your hands, breathing in. And then exhale, open your arms wide. This time, place your hands just behind your knees. Help yourself as you bend your knees and bringing your feet all the way together. So I'm going to turn and I'm going to remove the block. And I want you to be able to sit lengthways on your mat. Hands are still behind the knees. Take an inhale to sit up nice and tall. Use your arms. Exhale, curl your tail under and start to roll back. Maybe you can go all the way back so your elbows are straight. Inhale to come forward. Lengthen up. And exhale, curl back, flattening your abdominals away from your thighs. Inhale, pull forward. Sit up tall. Exhale, curl back. One more time. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, curl back and hold it here. Take another breath in. Exhale, slide your hands along the backs of your thighs. Lower yourself down and releasing your arms. Walk your feet closer in, having your feet slightly separated. We're not going to roll the pelvis up. We're going to hinge the pelvis up. Take a breath. Exhale, pressing into your feet and arms as you hinge up, lifting from the base of your pelvis. Take a little breath here. And exhale, hinge your pelvis down and rest. Take another breath. Exhale, pressing your pelvis up. Can you feel the gluteals starting to work? And exhale, hinging down. Now we're going to do 3 more. And The reason we're focusing on gluteals, press up, is, believe it or not, gluteus maximus is part of the lateral line of the body. People don't realize it. We think gluteus maximus is behind us, so it's part of the back line. It's not. The gluteus maximus and the gluteus medius on the side of the pelvis is responsible for the side movements of the body, which makes sense. If you think about walking, every time you stand on one foot, that whole lateral line of the body has to balance you and hold you upright, yeah? And release down. Now on this last one, the sixth one, we're going to press up and we're going to stay there. Press up and hold. Now, bend your elbows and point your fingers towards the sky. So that is starting to switch on latissimus dorsi. Keep your pelvis tilted, pubic bone towards sternum. Stand on the right leg and see if you can pick up the left knee and hold it. So now we're really loading the right gluteals. Let your pelvis hinge down halfway and press up. Halfway down and press up. Wakey, wakey, right bum cheek, yeah? And press up. And you're trying to keep your pelvis squared to the ceiling. You don't want any rotation happening. Last one. Exhale. Press up. Hold it. Turn your left knee out to cross the ankle over. And now hinge your pelvis all the way down and stay there. Send both hands up. You're going to lift up your right leg, wrap your hands around the right thigh, and pull yourself into a little bit of a stretch on that left gluteal. See if you can settle your head down. If you need to put something under your head, go for it. We're just staying here for a few moments. Notice where you're feeling it the most. So for example, on this left side, yes, I can feel my gluteal, but I'm also very aware of my left inner thigh, my left adductor. So I'm just making note of it so that when I do the other side, I can notice if there is a difference between the two. And just taking one more breath in and out here. Releasing that foot down. Uncross that left leg. Place your foot down and both arms are beside you. We're going to go from the very beginning. So both feet are grounded. Exhale as you press your pelvis up. And hinge the pelvis down. And again, pressing up. So it's quite interesting to note now how this feels in comparison to that very first set, because we've woken up the right gluteal and we've released the left gluteal. And we're going to do just one more time. Press up, and this time we're going to stay here, hold it. Bend your elbows and point your fingertips towards the sky. Keep tipping the pubic bone. Standing on your left leg, see if you can bring that right knee up. And now hinge halfway down and press up. Halfway down. Feel the work in the left gluteals. Inhale, little hinge and press. One more time. Press up and hold it. Turn your knee out so you can cross your right ankle over and then hinge your pelvis down. Stay there. Sending the arms up. And you're going to lift the left leg, wrap your hands around, grab on, and then settle back into the gluteal stretch on the right side. Make any adjustments that you need. And then once you've settled into the best position for you, start to notice, how does it feel on the right side today? So just interestingly for me, normally, because I do this quite often, normally on the right side, I don't feel the inner thigh, but today I am. It feels very similar to the left side. So there must have been something that I did. I did a lot of Pilates reformer work on Saturday with the teacher training that we're doing. And so there was obviously something that I engaged there that I can really feel the inner thighs. And just taking one more breath in and out. And then in your own time, releasing that leg down, both hands reach up, uncross that right foot, both feet down and arms beside you. We're going to do one more set of pelvic press. And hinging up and hinging down. And again, press up. How does it feel now that we've created a little bit more balance and symmetry? So now we have engaged the left gluteal and released the right hip. So hopefully things are feeling a bit more symmetrical. I'm definitely feeling that it's easier, that I'm not feeling the resistance that I did before. Softening into the back of the neck. Last one, press up, hold it here this time. Keep that little tilt of the pubic bone and bring both hands up towards the sky. Turn your palms to face each other. We're going to scissor the arms here. And scissor. And scissor. So as you do this movement, we're not moving the pelvis now. We're keeping the gluteals engaged and the glute medius on the side. You might be getting a little bit of a stretch through the side of the leg, the ITB. This is all part of those lateral lines. And as you move your arm overhead, you're getting a little bit of tensioning up the side of the body. So the obliques, serratus, lats, intercostals. So just feeling that gentle tensioning on the lateral line as you bring the arm over. Bring both hands straight up to the sky. And now this time, roll down, roll down, roll down. Articulate through the spine. And then hug both knees tight towards your chest. Maybe do a little rocking from side to side. And then tuck your chin in, lift your head towards your knees so you really get that rounded position of your spine. Take a little breath. And then releasing all the way back down. So you're going to put your left foot onto the floor. Put your hands just behind your right thigh, flexing your foot. Let's do a little bit of a hamstring release. So you can extend up through the leg. And release it down. And we're just going to do a few more. So even though our focus is on the lateral, the sidelines of the body, don't forget that everything is connected. It's so easy just to start separating them out. But you know, the back of the leg, the hamstring, is part of our back line of the body, and it also happens to be part of the spiral line of the body. You know, so much is connected here. And now extend your leg up and bend your knee a fraction so you're not pulling behind the knee, the calf muscle and the hamstring. From here, use your hands to start guiding your hip into internal and external rotation. So you shouldn't really necessarily feel that you're working to get into that position. Your hands are helping you. A little bit of internal, external rotation. And you can see how your foot is pivoting as a result. Come back to the center and hold it. We're going to do one more stretch of the leg. And now let your leg come across your body slightly. Woo, and you can probably feel it down the side of the leg here. Keep holding on to help yourself. And then if you can, break the ankle to roll the big toe down. And now that's getting that whole lateral line of the leg. It's the fibularis muscle, sometimes called the peroneal muscle, down the side of the leg, up into that ITB. Release your ankle back to neutral. Bring your leg all the way up. Just relax your foot and hug your knee tight towards your chest. Tuck your chin. Bring your head forward towards that right knee this time. Take a little inhale. And then releasing all the way down. Switch your legs. So now you're going to have your right foot to the ground, left knee drawn in. Hook your hands to the back of your thigh, flexing your ankle, and here we go. Extend. And bend. And again, energy up through the heel. And bend. 3 more. And release. 2 more. Last one. And now, soften your knee a little bit. Keep flexing. Using your hand to internally and externally rotate from the hip joint. So if you've done that hamstring glide with me before where we are kneeling and then the one foot comes forward, it's very similar to this. It's just that we happen to have the leg floating in the air. You don't have your heel anchored. One last time, little gliding of those hamstrings. Bring your leg back to the center. Do one more stretch of the leg. Holding it there. And now bring your leg across your body slightly. You're trying to keep this pelvis down. If you lift your pelvis, you've lost the stretch down the side of the leg. Break your ankle, roll the big toe down. There's that peroneal, that fibularis release. Just keep breathing. It can be very intense, so we're not going to hold it for too long. Bring your ankle back to neutral. Bring your leg all the way up. Soften the ankle. Hug that knee tight towards you. Tuck your chin. Bring your head forward towards the left knee. And then releasing head and shoulders down. So stay here for a moment. Put your hands onto the floor. Use your arms to anchor. And on your breath, you're going to switch legs in the air. And you're bringing the knee quite tight to the chest. And then switch. Switch. So can you feel by bringing your knee close to your body that your hip flexor has to work quite hard, which means the abdominals are getting loaded. Keep alternating. We've got 4. We've got 3. We've got 2. We've got 1. And now you're going to place both feet onto the ground. Stretch your legs out. Reach your arms overhead. So it's a little bit of a good morning stretch. Opening out those hips. And now move your left leg a little bit out towards the side. Pick up your right foot and just drape it across. So it's pretty easy. It's a soft movement. Start laterally flexing towards the left. So your whole right line of the body is getting a little bit of a stretch and a pull. And then hold onto your right wrist so that you can give yourself a little bit of an extra stretch if it feels good. And you can turn your head a little bit towards the left. We're just going to stay here for 3 breaths in and out. Opening up that right lateral line of the body. And then on your next breath, just bend your right knee. So you're going to put your right foot flat, release your hands and roll onto your left side. So you're just going to cradle your neck, stretch both legs out nice and long. You might be lying right at the edge of the mat. It's fine. If you feel very unstable, just move back. No big deal. And rest your fingers lightly. Start off with your toes pointed, getting your headlights facing to the front. And on your breath out, you're going to lift both legs. Stay there. Bottom leg goes down and up. Top goes up and down. And then lower both legs. Now flex your ankles and repeat. Both legs lift up. Stay there. Bottom leg down and up. Top leg up and down. And then lower both legs. Point your toes. Both legs lift. There's the obliques, lateral line. Bottom leg down and up. Now that is the adductor, which is the midline, which is where we find balance. And now top leg, that is gluteus medius, also part of the lateral line. And then releasing it down. Flex your ankles. Lift both legs up and stay. Bottom leg goes down and up. Top leg up and down and releasing all the way down. One more set of each. Point your toes and you're going to lift both legs. Hold it there. Bottom leg down and up. So with toes pointed, we're switching on the back line of the body a little bit more. Lift the top leg, release it down, and lower. Flex your ankles, both legs lift. With the ankles flexed, we're switching on the front line a little bit more. Lower the bottom leg. Just notice for you if there's a difference in your connections between flexing and pointing. And hold. Release it all the way down. You can point your toes, bring both knees all the way up so you get a little bit of a stretch around the lower back. Right arm reaches forward. Let's do one thoracic rotation. Look up. Open up through your chest and just take it all the way back so you get that wonderful opening and release for the chest, the arms. Little rotation through the spine. Make sure you can breathe. Remember to adjust your knee and leg position if it feels better for your lower back. Take a little inhale and then exhale, lifting that arm all the way back up you come and just rest your fingertips lightly to the ground. Now take your top leg, step it all the way back. So you're going to hold it here for a moment. So you're going to get quite a nice opening into that hip. Give yourself a little bit of a squeeze with your bum maybe, and then start to roll yourself all the way onto your back. Stretch your legs out, and we're going to do a little good morning stretch here, reaching the arms overhead. So now I don't want to have my back to you, so I'm just going to pivot around to the other side. You're also welcome to pivot if it's easier for you to see what's going on, but I will talk you through it as well. And now stepping your right leg out towards the right, cross your left ankle over and just letting it drape. So if you're really tight through the IT band, you might already be feeling this. And then start to laterally flex your spine towards the right, so you're getting the opening down the left side of the body. Take your hand to hold onto the left wrist and then just let your head softly turn. Stay here for 3 breaths in and out. And on your next breath, Bend your left knee to put your foot flat. Let the weight of your leg rolling across roll you onto your right side. Create a little support for your head. Stretch your legs out, and fingertips are going to be light on the ground. Starting with your toes pointed. You lift both legs up. Hold it there. Bottom leg goes down and up, so that's that adductor connection. Top leg goes up and down. That's gluteus medius connection, and release. Flex your ankles, and again, lift. Stay there. Bottom leg down and up. Top leg up and down, and lower both legs. Point your toes, and again, lift. Bottom leg down and up. So again, it's about finding that balance between the midline and the lateral lines of the body. They're kind of like partner lines to each other. And release, flexing ankles, lifting both legs. Bottom leg down and up. Keep the tensioning on that top oblique. And top leg up and down. And release. Point your toes. So remember what we were talking about here. Lifting your legs with toes pointed. You're going to be switching on the back line of the body a little bit more. So that's all the way from the soles of the feet, the calf muscles, the hamstrings, the back extensors, and lower. Flexing ankles, lifting both legs. And now with the ankles flexed, you're switching on the front line of the body. So that's the front of the shin, the quadriceps, the abdominals, and lower, and release. Last set. Notice on your body which works more easily, toes pointed or toes flexed. Where does your challenge lie? Top leg goes up and down, and lower. Last one, flexing ankles, and we go, lift. Bottom leg down and up. Top leg up and down. And release. Point your toes, bend your knees right up. And now cradle your head, left arm out. We go up and all the way back for that thoracic rotation. Holding it here. Breathing into that release. And then float your arm all the way up, all the way to the front. Place your fingertips down and step your top leg back. Look for the floor behind you. Maybe do a little bit of a squeeze with your bum cheek so you get that opening into that hip flexor, which again, those deep hip flexor muscles, all part of that deep line, that midline. Take a breath in, and then exhale and release all the way onto your back. Stretch your legs out long again, and we're going to be going into a roll up from here. So squeeze your inner thighs together. You can point or flex. Bring your hands up towards the sky above you, and no momentum with the arms. Lift your head to look forward. Use your exhale as you curl up. Go all the way over, giving yourself that long stretch. Take a little breath in, and then exhale, unravel. Lifting all the way up and tall and placing hands down. So bend your knees and come and sit a little bit closer to the front of your mat. And again, I'm going to turn around just so you can see what I'm doing a little bit more easily. And we're going to do a rolling exercise, rolling like a ball. So hands to the front of your shins, lift your feet off the mat, tuck your chin in, and take a moment just to find balance. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Inhale to roll back. And exhale to roll up and see if you can balance. Inhale. And exhale. Taking 3 more. 2 more. Last one, breathing in. And hold it. And placing your feet down. Stretch back again. Take your left leg out nice and long. Step your right foot across. Flex your ankle. You guys know how much I love the seated spine twist. So support yourself at the back. Reach the left arm up and start guiding yourself into a little bit of a rotation where you can hook either your elbow or hold on with your hand. Turn your head to look over the right shoulder and then just stay there for a moment and breathe. So I've mentioned this before, that this is such a beautiful way to come into the spiral lines of the body. But don't forget that the spiral lines and the lateral lines have a lot of crossover here. So just observing how it's feeling on this side. And now that we've been working some very focused exercises and releases with the lateral lines, is there any difference in this for you today? Taking a nice easy breath in. Long, slow exhale as you release. Move both your hands over to the left side. Roll onto the side of the left hip and just rock a little bit. Just finding that little bit of a release. And then come to the center. Now guys, we're going to try the baby grasshopper because this is a lot of lateral line work. So placing your left hand, fingers away, more or less in line with your hip. Taking your right hand, can you reach around to hold onto your baby toe? Now, if you're really struggling to even hold onto your foot, put a little loop or a strap around your foot to hold onto it. Grab on. You're going to roll onto the left hip. And then on your breath out, you stand on that right foot. So this is obliques working big time. It's lats working big time. That's all part of your lateral line. Plus you need to have a little bit of length and flexibility through the ITB. So it's all those lateral lines connecting, releasing, and then slowly down you come. Well done. Uncross and stretching the leg out. It's been a little while since we tried the grasshopper, eh? All right, so let's try the other side. You're going to now pick up your left foot, cross it over, flex the right foot. So you're going to have your left hand behind your back, right hand reaching up, coming into that little spiral. And again, if we can find a softness and release into the spiral line, it helps with the lateral lines and vice versa. So just making sure that you can breathe, softening into your neck, noticing that little release and softening between the shoulder blades as you come into the spiral. And just taking one more breath in, release slowly, move both hands over to the right side of your body, and just do a little bit of a rocking. I'm just going to turn to face towards the camera so you can see what we're doing. Little bit of a rocking. And then lean over to that right side. You're going to line up your right hand with your right hip, not too close, otherwise it's a bit difficult. Take your left hand and see if you can grab onto your baby toe. So this is really important because that closes the chain here. It gives you something to almost just hang on so that you can use your obliques. Start leaning over towards the side, and then obliques connect as you stand on your left foot. Lats, serratus, breathing, releasing the sideline and the back line of your legs. Take a breath, releasing all the way back down. Uncross, straighten your legs out, and giving your legs a little bit of a shake. Nicely done, guys. Bring your knees underneath you so you can come into a 4-point kneeling position right here. Spreading your fingers out, energy through your crown, reaching through your tail, and on your breath, curl your tail under. Pressing away from your hands as you stretch. And then lengthen your spine. And if you're ready, we should be quite warmed up. See if you can come into a little bit of extension. And again, curl your tail, pushing out of your hands. And then lengthen. And extend. Taking 2 more. And extend. And we're going to take just 1 more time. Round your spine, and this time I'd like you to stay in a rounded spine. Tuck your toes under, and on your next breath, lift your knees up. Hold it here. Staying in the curved spine, belly is lifted, pressing out of your hands, taking 1 more breath in. Release your knees, release your feet, lengthen your spine, and just take a moment to open your knees, big toes together, sit back, let your head come down, and then walk your hands together. Place the palms of your hands to touch, and then bend your elbows and placing your hands behind your neck. So you're just taking all the weight off your wrists for a moment, getting a little bit of a stretch. And then on your next breath, bring your hands forward. Walk yourself up again onto all fours. And we're going to be doing a little bit of a challenge here, again for the lateral lines of the body. So spread your fingers out, tuck your toes under. This time we're going to maintain a neutral position of the spine. On your breath, lift your knees. Bring your right hand underneath your nose. So you've got to shift a little bit. Start pivoting feet, knees, and hips to face the left. So you can balance on your right hand and take that right hand up. So you're getting those lateral lines of the body connected here. Look down and then start to pivot yourself back towards the center and lower your knees down. Release your feet back for a moment. Just move a little bit forwards and backwards so you're taking the pressure off your wrist. And then we're going to test out the other side. Shoulders above your wrists. Tuck your toes under. On your next breath, lifting your knees. Move your hand, left hand, under your nose. Pivot your knees, your feet, your hips to the other side. Balance. Bringing that right hand up so you can really feel the underside of your body engaging and supporting. Turn your head and look down. Come back to the center. Separate your hands again. Lower your knees, release your feet, and once again, just sit a little bit backwards and forwards. So I'm hoping everybody's feeling okay with this. We're going to do 1 more set with a little add-on. Tuck your toes. Lift your knees just up. Bring your right hand under your nose. Pivot towards the left so you can pick up your left hand and hold it here. And then on your next breath, simply lower your hips all the way down and stay. So you're in a little bit of a mermaid seat right here. Make sure you're pushing out of this arm. Take a breath in. Exhale, pressing into your feet and see if you can lift your knees and your hips up. And sit back down. So now we're getting eccentric and concentric work here. Lift up. That's concentric. Lower down. Control the movement. That's eccentric. Just 1 more. Here we go. Exhale. Up you come. Look down. Rotate around. Come back onto all fours and lower your knees. Release your feet and just allow your body weight to move backwards and forwards. Well done, guys. It's a lot of work loading into that one shoulder and finding that lateral line. Ready for the last side. Here we go. Tuck your toes. On your breath, press your knees up. Left hand comes underneath you, rotating, facing towards the right and picking up the right arm, and then lower your hips down and coming into a mermaid seat. Push out of that left shoulder, take a breath in, exhale, up you come. Stay for a moment and lower down with control. Take a breath in. Exhale, press up. Take an inhale and releasing it down. Last one, here we go. Press up. Look down, rotate, placing both hands down, lower the knees, release your feet, sit yourself back into a resting position, head to the floor, palms of the hands touch, bending your elbows and placing hands lightly behind your head. Just let your breathing slow down. Let your heart slow down. Take one more breath in and out. Releasing hands all the way forward. Just walk your hands up towards your knees, shifting your hips over to your left, feet out towards the right, doing one final lateral line release. Long stretch up and over. Come back to the center. Pivot both feet around to the front. And right hand up and over. Come all the way back to the center. And then once again, just as we started, coming into that long diamond shape of the legs. If you want a little block under your pelvis, go for it. I almost feel like my hips have released a little bit after the last hour of moving. So I'm going to stay seated on the floor. Just pull your toes out gently. So you're using your baby toe just to create a little bit of an anchor. Hands onto the tops of your knees, palms facing down. And I want you to keep your feet still, but pull your feet towards your bum and then push your feet away. And when you do that movement with your legs, the pull, can you feel how the hamstrings shorten? And then when you push, can you feel how the quadriceps work a bit? So as you pull with your feet, can you feel that there's almost a natural lift of the chest? And then when you push with your feet, there's a natural hollowing, a scoop, a curve. Breathe in to pull. Breathe out to press. Inhale, pull with your feet. So this is a lot of the work and the movement that we do in gyrokinesis and gyrotonic. So a lot of the movement is initiated from the feet, moving, pivoting, pulling, pushing, and then there's a ripple that comes up the spine, a natural ripple. Let's just take a few more. Inhale, exhale, breathing in. Use your arms to help you. Let it feel good. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to the center. Close your eyes if they're not closed already. Just settle yourself into this soft shape, making any adjustments that you need. And connecting into your breath, allowing each exhale to soften and to melt any tension. Taking one more inhale through the nose. Long exhale through your mouth. Just allow your eyes to blink open slowly, bringing the daylight in, bringing yourself back onto your mats. Both arms all the way down beside you. We inhale to reach up, clearing a little bit of space for yourself. Exhale, open your arms wide. Roll your shoulders back and around. Beautiful work, guys.